Good evening, believers. This is Love Coach Dasha coming to you today for the Healing Hour Live. Now, if you've never been with me before, you don't know what I do here. I am a love coach specifically for women who want to stay and reconcile after infidelity. You have been cheated on. This is still your honey, though. This is the person that you want to spend your time with. You don't want to let the relationship go for whatever your reasons are. This person is important enough to you that you're trying to make that decision. And I'm here to help you make that decision and follow through with it and get to the other side where you will be happier and trusting and letting this be in the past. All right. So glad that you're here. Come on in. If you're here with me on Facebook, on Instagram, make sure you give me lots of likes and love. Let the algorithm know that you like me. All right. And if you've never been with me before, go to streamyard.com/Facebook. It will make it so that I am able to see your name on my screen so I don't have to keep going back and forth. I can address everybody by name. All right. So I can see everything. Beautiful, lovely. All right, y'all. We're going to go ahead and get started with the norm, what we normally do here. And I'm always going to teach you about the things that you can do all on your own to start your own internal healing, to start regulating your emotions, start getting your relationship back on track. You're going to need to do some work that you would think that it would come from your honey, but it really doesn't. Okay, that healing that you're going to need to do is going to come from inside you. It is not going to come from them. So I want you to start knowing the things that you can do right now to start to help yourself with this trauma. All right, so that's what we're always going to talk about every single solitary time we get together. I want you to know what you have control over. All right, this is a situation where you didn't have control, right? You didn't have control over this happening to you, but you have control over healing it right now. You have control over whether you stay and whether you make this a good, happy relationship or whether it's just going to be miserable until you just decide to go ahead and break up. All right. I don't want you to get painted into a corner and make you feel like you can't go ahead and be with the person that you want to be with. I know a lot of people will tell you that that's not a good thing. You should not go on with this relationship, but you are not backed into any corners with me, okay? I believe in you. If you say that they are worth it, then I'm going to believe that they're worth it, and I'm going to tell you exactly how to get through this, treating them like they're worth it, and get to a happier place, all right? So first and foremost, if you're here with me, make sure you give me likes, give me love, let me know you're here, say hey. All right, so first thing that we're always going to do every single time we get together, we're going to do our deep breathing. Have you been doing your deep breathing? You need to do this, okay? If you have gone through any kind of trauma, doing your deep breathing is going to be essential for you getting back in control of your emotions. When we are traumatized, when something terrible has happened to us, our bodies can naturally go into fight or flight mode. We have automatic things that happen in our brain to try and defend us from things that hurt us. But that is not the greatest reaction if you want to stay together, if you want to work things out, because that reaction is an isolating reaction. It is a reaction your body takes to try and get you away from anything that could possibly hurt you, and that includes your boo. So we don't want to do that. We want to get close again. We want to be in each other's face. We want to be happy. We do not want to be hidden away, pulling away from each other. So the best thing that you can do to start to get back in control of your own emotions and your own brain after a trauma is do your deep breathing. All right. We do 4-7-8 breathing. Now you can do whatever kind of breathing pattern you want to do. You can do 5-5-5. You can do 4-6-8. It does not matter. I don't care which one you do as long as you're doing it consistently 5 times a day. That's going to help you. It's going to bring that anxiety level from way up in the sky and slowly start pulling it down. Every time you do the deep breathing, it's going to bring it down to a more and more manageable level to the point where you can get a grasp on it. All right. We don't want to keep on being out here and letting our emotions just run wild. It is not great for us to be in relationships if we are letting our emotions run wild. We got to get control over them. All right. So ID 478, what we do is blow out, make the noise when you blow out. You want to make that sound because it's a trigger for your brain. Your brain knows when you are doing, you are exhaling all that excess carbon dioxide, you are calming yourself down, you are getting in control of yourself. It will let your brain know, and it will let the people around you know, let your honey know that you are trying to get in control of your own emotions when he hears you make that sound. All right. So it's a good thing either way. It triggers everybody that it's time to calm down. All right. Blowing out, inhale, usually through your nose. I got allergies, but right now I can't really breathe through my nose that great. It's all right if you breathe through your mouth, but inhale for a count of 4. Hold that breath for a count of 7. And then we're going to blow out like we're blowing out an entire cake full of birthday candles for a count of 8. This is going to exhale all of that excess carbon dioxide that gets built up when you are anxious and when you are in fight or flight, as your breathing is changing to more shallow, thin breath. As you're getting more and more worked up, we are getting much more carbon dioxide. So what we're doing when we do this deep breathing is getting rid of that excess carbon dioxide, inhaling a good amount of oxygen, all right? So, and then we're going to blow out. We are going to do this 3 times in a row just for the sake of time, but I want you to be doing this 5 times a day, okay? First thing we're going to do is blow out. Inhale through your nose. 2, 3, 4. Hold it. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Blow out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Again. Inhale. 2, 3, 4. Hold it. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Blow out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Last time. Inhale. 2, 3, 4. Hold it. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Blow out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Beautiful. How does it feel when you're doing your deep breathing? Let me know. If you're here with me here on Facebook, if you're here with me on Instagram or YouTube, let me know. How does it feel when you're doing your deep breathing? Should feel a little bit better. Should be a little bit lifting. Should be a little bit of a clearing of your brain. All of a sudden, you should be able to think a little bit clearer because you've got excess oxygen going into your brain. It is a beautiful thing to do right before you go to bed. That helps, especially if you have nightmares, if you have a hard time falling asleep. It's a great thing to do to help you go to sleep. First thing in the morning, as soon as you get up, doing your deep breathing to show your body, hey, look, if there was some anxiety left over from yesterday, we are going to leave that in the past. We are doing fine today. Everything is all right. And then like 3 other times during the day, you are going to be in control of your emotions much better than you would be if you're not doing your deep breathing. All right. So we need to be on that. Jump on that. Do that for me. Okay. All right. The second thing that I'm always going to tell you about is to do your journaling. I need you to sit down and do your journaling. Okay. I need you to really pay attention to this because this is one of those things that you can do all on your own that will start to help you with your anxiety after this trauma. You're going to sort through emotions by putting them down on paper. A lot of the time you have those repeating thoughts. It goes over and over and over and over and over again, and you can't make it stop. If you write it down, most of the time, those repetitive thoughts will stop. They will say, okay, oh, she wrote it down. It's in a journal. It's physically out in the world. We can stop reminding her of the same thing over and over again. And then you can get to the next thought. You don't have to get stuck in that one thought. It helps tremendously if you are going to get up first thing in the morning and do your journaling for about 5 minutes. Pour out emotion, whatever was going through your head, things that you might get triggered by today, things that you anticipate going well today. All the good stuff, all the bad stuff, throw it down in your journal. About 5 minutes worth of writing. You do not have to write a book. Then at night, before you go to bed, sit down with your journal, drink your tea, get your whole bedtime routine going around that. Get the thoughts out of your head. Tell your brain, hey, this is what we're going to have to work on tomorrow. You be thinking about that while I'm asleep, and we can go on and do better tomorrow than we did today. It is helpful. All right. It is a simple, simple thing. It doesn't seem like it would be helpful, but it is tremendously helpful, especially if we're trying to remember things. In your traumatized state, you're going to believe that your memory is great because all of the negative things come in so sharp. It seems like they are just crystal clear focus, but most things are going to be a little hazy to you. So if you are writing things down, you can remember things better as you are going through this trauma. All right. It's good stuff all the way around. Use your journal. Okay. First thing in the morning, 5 minutes. Right before you go to bed, 5 minutes. That's all you need to do. Okay. Any questions about that? Any questions about that now? All right. So I want you all to be doing this on a regular basis. Now, the third thing that I want you to be doing like every single day, really focusing on it, is to get an attitude of gratitude. Okay. I need you to do this. I need you to focus your attention on being grateful for everything. All right. When you're in the midst of a trauma, your brain says everything is awful, nothing is ever good, everything is going to be bad forever and ever and ever. Amen. But that's not true. And so, as soon as you start working on that attitude of gratitude, as soon as you start focusing your attention on what good things are happening around me, what good things are in my life right now, your brain will stop thinking that everything is terrible, and it will remind you of good things instead of bad things. That's a wonderful way to heal. Okay. That is one of the key components you're going to need to implement to be able to heal, is getting your attitude together to be grateful for everything. Try and find a reason why even the worst things could be a good thing. All right. Be very grateful about everything that exists in your world, everything that you see day to day, the relationship that you have, your kids, whoever, whatever it is. I want you to try and come from a place of gratitude as much as you possibly can. When you're doing that, you are telling your brain that no, everything is not always bad. And I know I was traumatized, but there are still good things going on that I don't want to miss. And your brain will say, you don't want to miss that. So we'll remind you of the good stuff too. And then it won't just be the negative, it will be the positive there too. We've got to start working on changing how our brains work after we've been traumatized, because it's a habit. Everybody's got the exact same responses to their traumas. Everybody has the same ideas that go through their head, the same repetitive thoughts, the same fears. They're all the same for all of us. We've got to start taking over control of that and saying, no, I understand what you're doing, brain. You are trying so hard to help me, and I am grateful for that. I am grateful that you have automatic responses that are there to take care of me. However, these automatic responses are not helping me as far as my relationship. I'm going to go with something different. I'm going to choose a different response. When you start doing that, your brain starts to catch up with that, and your brain is like, oh, well, hey, you know what? The difference, this is not bad. Whatever it is she's doing is not a bad thing. It seems to be working pretty well. Let's run with that. All right. So we've got to start training our brains, and being grateful is the first way that you can do that. For that purpose, I always have Thirsty Thursday, and I want you to tell me good stuff. If you're here with me right now, I see you here with me. Give me some good news. What wonderful things have been going on in your life? I always post my Thirsty Thursday in the Love After Cheating group because I want to hear the good stuff that is happening. And I want you to start practicing sharing the good stuff. In the traumatized state, it's very easy to share the bad stuff. It's very easy to share trauma and sadness and vulnerability and just bad feelings. You can do that all day, but it doesn't really do much for your healing. I want you to be doing things that heal you, and sharing good things is a healing thing. All right. So, anybody, let me know. Hold on, let me go back and look on my StreamYard page here. If you've never been with me before, if you're on my Facebook, go to streamyard.com/Facebook and let them use your name so I can see it, okay? All right. Let's see. Oh, we got some good Thirsty Thursday news. Oh, Lord, my mouse won't work. There we go. All right. Got some good stuff happening. Oh, it didn't pop up over here. Slow rolling. Sorry about that. All right. Let's see. Elise. Hi, Elise. You said we have a kid-free date night tomorrow night in New York City. I'm excited. Then a great Easter weekend plan. I know that's right. At least we got plans. We got plans on plans on plans. I love it. It is so beautiful to have the kids not be there. It's such a different life. Let me tell you, okay? My kids now, my older daughter, she is 19, and my son is 16, and it is a completely different life now that they're older and they can do their own thing. We can actually go do stuff. It's so weird because like when they were little, we were usually working opposite shifts, so somebody was home with them because daycare costs an arm and a leg. So we didn't get to go out and do anything for a long time. But now they're older, so it's not long at least before all of a sudden they are grown. Like all of a sudden they're gonna be big kids, and you're not gonna have to worry about child free. You are gonna be doing the child free thing on a regular basis and coming home to them and telling them about it. It's a very different lifestyle, but you would be surprised how fast it comes up, at least, because I still can't believe that my kids are not little itty bitty kids anymore that I have to watch all the time. But I'm so glad that you're gonna have this good weekend. I know that's right. Having a fun time in the city with your honey. Got the Easter planned out with you and your babies. I know that's a good thing. So I'm glad for you. Great things to be grateful for. All right. Wonderful things to be grateful for this holiday weekend. They're getting ready to go to spring break. So I'm like, I don't have any practices to take them to. I'm grateful for that this week. All righty. Let's see. So we've done deep breathing, done journaling, done gratefulness. The last thing that I'm always going to tell you, that is probably the hardest thing I have to tell you. Don't ask the questions. Okay? Stop it. Stop. Don't do it. Stop it. It is killing you, okay? It is not helping with your actual healing. We want to focus on things that actually work. And I know that your brain tells you that you need all of these answers. It has to be full disclosure. I know we got all into that. It has to be everything for me to be able to decide if I want to still be with you or not. Okay, first of all, that's not true. You've already made up your mind. Asking all those questions, before you even start asking those questions, you're already staying. You're clinging on to, well, I want to stay. I want to understand well enough so that I can give myself an excuse to stay. But that's what it is in my head. If I don't ask these questions, then I can't stay. And I want you to stop giving yourself that hard of a time. You can absolutely stay without having all that full disclosure. I don't think that works very well. I know that that's a thing, that all of the advice out there is to get that full disclosure before you make any decisions. But I'm here to say, if you want all that, you've already made a decision. Okay, you're already there in your brain trying to figure out a way to stay. So don't even do that to yourself. Choose what you want. And then later on, we can work on all of that. You will find out so much more when you are willing to heal than you would when you are first so angry and so hurt and so humiliated and want to know all the answers to these questions. It is so much more helpful to heal first, a little bit first, and then those answers start to come to you. All of a sudden, he starts to talk about it more freely because he's not scared that you're going to leave. He's not scared that he's going to say the stupid thing or tell you the truth about what happened and you're going to run out the door. It's a lot easier for him to go ahead and tell you these things. It's a lot easier for you to accept those things when you've had some healing under your belt. You don't want to keep on trying to heal using these questions because, honey, they do not heal you. They do not heal you. They do not help. Okay. I know that your brain keeps telling you that they should help. I know that it says that, but it's not true. It is a trauma reaction. It is your brain doing automatic things trying to keep you isolated, to keep you pushed away from this relationship now because you're so hurt. And if you get all of these answers, it will add to the hurt and make it so it's easier for you not to stay in the relationship. Okay. That's what your brain is doing. All right. I want you to know that that's what is actually happening because it will tell you all sorts of lies. It will tell you that you just need every bit of information if you're going to heal. It's not true. You do not need all of that information. As a matter of fact, it makes it more difficult to heal. So, what we want to do is stop asking all those questions. Now, I understand that this trauma response will make your brain itch. It will make your brain say, "Hey, Carrie Ann, I see you over there on Instagram." It will make your brain say, "Oh, I have to have these answers. If I don't ask these questions, my brain will never stop itching. It will not stop. I will not be able to deal with it if I don't ask a question." All right. So if that is happening to you, which happens to plenty of people as we are going through this healing process, better questions. If you got to ask a question, if it is driving you nuts, these questions are a lot better. This is the and THEAND. The healing edition is what these are. And this is 199 questions. It's a game that you can play with your honey. 2-3 of these questions are good questions that will have you thinking, but they are more for healing the relationship than asking about what happened with the affair partner. Okay, we don't need those details. We don't need to know what happened with them. We need things that are going to be healing our relationship. So instead of where did you have sex and did you tell her you loved her, let's try a few of these. Okay, much better questions. Much better questions. All right, first one. How do you know when I'm hurting? See, you can get some questions like that. You can get some questions talking about your pain, talking about your feelings, but we don't want to keep on asking questions that create more pain for us. Okay. So, how do you know when I'm hurting? You can ask your mate that. Wouldn't you like to know if they know that? And if they don't get it right, that's a conversation. That is something that we can sit here and talk about. I actually know that's actually not how I am when I'm hurting. When I'm hurting, I do X, Y, and Z. And this is how you can tell. You can start to have that conversation, but it's very difficult to have that conversation if you are just trying to focus on the affair and not on the relationship. All right. Carmel Cream Kisses. Hello to you over there on Instagram. Glad to see you, girl. All right, next question. What's one piece of advice you think I really want to give to you? Isn't that an interesting question? It's a much better question than the questions that your trauma wants to ask, okay? What's one piece of advice you think I really want to give you? All right. And you would probably be surprised by what it says. You never know. I always find the answers to these questions so interesting, because what you think the person is going to say is not really what they normally say. So they give you some thought-provoking questions that get you a little bit deep. And then one more. How do you know when I'm having a great day? Isn't that an extra good thing to know about you, boo? All right. That how do you know when I'm having a great day? That's an excellent question. Way better than the questions that you've been wanting to ask, right? So we're gonna stick with those. We're gonna stick with these questions. Look this game up on the internet. It's on Amazon. If you put in THEAND, you can find it. It's only about $30, and it's an excellent game to play back and forth. Just a couple of questions. You can ask questions of each other, but you're not overwhelming him with questions about what he did wrong. All right. Does that make sense? You all let me know. All right. Let me see any questions, comments, thoughts. Don't see anything right now. All right. So that's the basics. All the things that I'm always going to tell you, that I always want you to know every single time we get together. I want you to be working on those things. Those are things that you have complete control over, that are going to make you feel better. So it's twofold. It's, first of all, getting your strength back, getting your confidence back that you can make yourself feel better, and it's something to do that makes you feel like you're in control. Makes you feel like, oh, okay, I can do something about this. I do not have to continue to suffer like I have been. I can actually do something that's going to make that feeling start to go away. And that's what I want for you. I don't want you to be here suffering and miserable with this any longer. You got to start doing the things that will help this trauma and make you feel less put upon. Okay? All righty. So if you all got questions, let me know. I always want to answer all of your questions. You always have such wonderful questions for me. It is very difficult to do this. This is a difficult thing that you all are doing. But I want to give you as much support and feedback as I possibly can about it, because um it's a hard thing, but it's an excellent thing. It is one of those things where you are going to be growing from this experience, and you're going to be um healing in ways that you didn't understand how to heal before. So I think it is an excellent thing that you're doing. I want to give you as much help as I possibly can. All right, so let's see. Questions. Terry said, how long does it take to heal from a broken heart? Terry, I tell you what, there are a lot of answers to that question. The first thing is, you actually have to be choosing to heal. That is the main thing. If you are just waiting around, they always say that time heals all old wounds and whatnot. That's not true. You need activity to heal from a broken heart. You need some actual things to do to heal. So you could be waiting and just saying, oh, well, time will take care of it, and waiting and waiting and waiting. It could be years and years and years, because you actually aren't doing anything to heal. Okay. Now, if you go ahead and go through my dreams formula, all right, if you do the things, if you decide that you're going to heal and start going for it, if you recognize that you're afraid of this, but you're going to do it anyway, you're going to push through the fear, and you're going to get what you want out of this situation anyhow. If you evaluate why this happened, figure out where you can have compassion for your mate for doing something this stupid. Like, there had to be a reason. There's only people only do things this dumb when they're hurting. So we have to figure out some compassion for that. Allowing the healing to happen, letting down the walls, putting our rings back on, having sex again, doing dates, being a couple, being in that headspace of a couple that wants to be close to each other. managing those future feelings, figuring out like what you're like when you're triggered, and then how to help yourself when you are triggered, and then seeking the support, coming to me, getting in on my after infidelity mastermind, getting my dreams formula, whatever it is that you need to do. If you are doing the things, it really only takes about a year. I usually about a year to really get to a whole other place. Like really being able to let go of the past, really being able to move forward with your mate. It's about a year. It's about a year. Could be 13, 15 months sometimes, but usually right at about a year. People are healing really well if they have been working with me, if they've been trying, if they've been doing the healing actions. It usually only takes about a year. About it a year, people have an anniversary reaction, which makes them feel like they have gone, they haven't gotten as far as they think they have. They feel like, oh, if I'm feeling this strongly about it at the anniversary, then I must not be over it. But that's not true. Usually it's just the fact that the world reminds you of the trauma at that year point. Certain holidays, certain weather, it's the springtime, whatever it is, it will remind you at that time. So that doesn't necessarily mean that you're not healed. Usually at that point, you're actually doing pretty well. It's that anniversary reaction comes back and messes with you and makes you feel like you haven't gotten as far as you have. And so then you might be thrown off for another couple of little months, like, 13, 15 months. Usually it's only about a year. That's usually only that. If you can go ahead and start working on it, if you're doing the things that I'm telling you to do, if you're working on this on a regular basis, working on your trust, deciding on forgiveness, letting that be your default, when you do this consistently, it's only going to take about a year. All right. So it's not as long as everybody says it is. I know plenty of people will tell you that, oh, it'll take years and years for you to be okay with this, and you're going to talk about it forever and ever. I don't want you to do any of that. All right. I want you to talk about it for a while now. And I want you to start leaving that in the past. And then a year from now, I want you to be so healed up that you don't want to keep on talking about it. That you can talk about it if need be, because nobody's so hurt anymore that we can't talk about it. All right. But in the meantime, I want you not to have to talk about it, to feel like you're actually getting to a healing place with your mate. All right. That makes sense. Usually only about a year. It's not as long as people think it will be. Um, plenty of people hang on to it. That's why a lot of the time you will see um, women who will tell you, oh, you shouldn't stay. It is terrible. You'll never heal from it. They're waiting for the healing to happen to them. That's why they're so discouraging about the prospect of you healing, because they're expecting that at some point, either the time or their mate will somehow do a thing and transform all this pain into forgiveness. Somehow it will just happen to them. It doesn't work like that. This works because you will make a choice and then you will follow through on that choice. That's how you get to the healing. That's how that broken heart heals, is you actually doing the actions of healing. You can't just wait around. Can't just keep looking at him being like, well, why you're doing the things. I don't know why I don't feel like my heart is mending. It's because you're not doing the things. They can do all of the things. They can do everything that you can imagine. They can give you access to their phone. They can give you the what is it, the Life 360. They can give you all of that, total access. But if you are not doing the actions of healing, then it's not going to work. Nothing they can do will heal you. You are the one in charge of that. You are the one who is going to make that happen for yourself. They can't fix it. They cannot fix you. I know they broke it. They should fix it. They cannot. It is not possible for him to climb inside your brain and tinker around and take the pain away and make you forgive and make you feel better. It is not possible. They cannot do it. It is going to be your responsibility. So if you go ahead and take that on right from the very beginning, decide that I want this. I want my relationship. This is the person that I love. I want to be with them. I don't care who says what. I am making that choice. And then you follow through on making that choice. It's like magic. It happens quite fast when you make that decision and you keep on acting upon it. It's very fast. I got to ask some of the people in my After Infidelity Mastermind, as soon as you start, as soon as you have made it up in your mind, and you go ahead and put yourself out there to heal, all of a sudden wonderful things start to happen. They start acting differently because you're acting differently, because when you change the things around you. So you're going to make things happen with your own healing. If you're going through the process and you're actually trying to heal, you're working with me and you're trying to work on that healing, it's going to happen pretty fast. I say a year just because in a year's time, that heavy weight in the center of your chest, that anxiety, that sadness won't be there anymore. You'll have been erasing it slowly and steadily over the years, so that when you get to that year point, you'll be looking in that space where it used to be, and you'll be like, hey, it's not there anymore. I used to carry this, it used to be heavy right here. I used to carry it around and right in my chest, but it's not there anymore. You'll notice that it's not there as that year point is coming up. So that's my thing. It does not take as long as people think it does to heal from a broken heart, but you've got to actually put the work in to heal. You cannot just wait around and wait for time to fix it or for your honey to fix it. All right. Does that make sense? You all let me know if that sounds crazy. If that doesn't make any sense to you, let me know. So, don't see any other questions. If you got questions, you know I want to answer them. You know I love to answer your questions. But in the meantime, let me tell you a little bit. I told you about the dreams formula, all right? And I definitely want you to get your copy of the dreams formula. Here, let me put that down in the comments here. It's how to heal and reconcile after infidelity is what it's called. But it is the form of the dreams formula. It is each step of it. So here it is in the comments. And I will put it, make sure that it's on my link tree as well. There it is. So I want you to get your copy. I want you to go ahead and look through it. Read through it. Ask me questions, all right? I absolutely love talking about it. As you're going through, you will see each step what you're needing to be doing, the things that are going to go wrong, that people will tell you about that particular step. Like for the decision, everybody always says that they need to make a decision. They need to figure out what they're going to do. They need to stop seeing the other woman and show that they want to be with you. And I don't like that. I don't like that at all. I want you to be making the choice about what happens next. You don't just let them go ahead and run off and do what they want to do right now. They've already shown they're not making the greatest of decisions. You can make a decision. And if you're making the decision that this relationship is going to go on, then I believe in you. I believe that you've got the right path, and go on ahead about it. But don't listen to them and telling you that, oh, they have to make the decision for you. I think that that's crazy. All right. So it's like that through the entire dreams formula. It's the things that people tell you to do versus what I found out really actually works. Okay. So definitely click on that link and get a copy of it. I want you to be able to have a guide and be able to heal from this, even if you don't work with me. Okay. There are plenty of people out here who don't work with me who are getting results just listening to what I'm saying, just following through, dealing with the dreams formula, doing the work of healing. That's all it really takes. All right. So if you are here with me and you are willing to do that, you can get to a better place without actually having to work with me at all. But I love working with you and I want to help you. So you can definitely come work with me. All right. But let's see. I can't see what that is. Hold on. I'll tell you about the steps. You got the steps to the dreams formula. I'll tell you about the different phases of healing too. Hold on. Let me see what question this is. Debbie. Hi, Debbie. Debbie said, I just can't get over him having the affair. The AP lives in our small town. I don't know if I should work it out or leave. Debbie, it sounds like, I mean, you're here with me. Look, hey, if you have sought me out, if you've sought out my group, this is love after cheating. This is getting back to the love with the person that you want. So you're kind of making a decision already. Does that make sense to you, Debbie? I know it's scary to make that decision, but I don't want you to be scared of making that decision. If this is the person that you love and you want to be with them, and screw this other chick, I don't care if she lives in the same town. We are not letting her just ruin our lives and just go on ahead and do what she wants to do. You've already kind of made the decision. You know what you want. You're still there with them, right? Just go ahead and accept that. Just go ahead and accept that that's what you want. And if it doesn't work out, fine. But most of the time, if you start working on your healing, if you get to a little bit more stable ground, you can get to the point where you're all healed up and everything is working out, and she's over in the corner hating on you, talking crazy. I've lived in a small town before, so of course she's gonna be talking about you, but you'll be happy with your man and she'll be over there doing nothing but running her mouth. So I'm all for that. I am all for showing a side chick that she ain't nothing. I am all for that. I am all for showing them that, oh, that was so cute. You thought you could have what belongs to me. That's the way I feel about it. So let me know, Debbie, if you want help. I am here for you. I got you. But you got to make that decision for yourself. You got to go ahead and just admit to yourself what you really want. And if what you really want is to be with him, then be with him. There's nothing wrong with it. Nothing wrong at all. People will try and put you into a corner and make you feel like you can't stay. And that's absolutely not true. You can stay and work it out just as well. All right. Mulatto Beauty, I see you over there on Instagram. Hey, girl. And Debbie, you let me know. Is it really that you don't know what you want to do? Because I'm like, if you are staying, you are staying. You know what I mean? Like, if you are at this moment, that's what you're doing. So don't give yourself a hard time about it. Just go ahead and say, okay, I'm making that decision, and stand firm in it, because then that is what gives you the power. That is what, if anybody says anything to you about it, oh yeah, we're working that out. Don't worry about us. We're fine. You know what I mean? Like, standing on your decision. So that's how it worked for me. I had to, tell a whole bunch of people in a small town that, oh no, I know what he did, but we're fine. We're gonna be just fine. We are gonna be together. Everything is gonna be just fine between the two of us, and that's what I made it be. He said, it's been 12 years. We adopted my two great nieces. And she has a daughter that is the same age and grade as her daughter, to where I'm constantly dealing with her. Well, do you have to deal with her? I'm like, you don't have to necessarily deal with the AP. But then again, I don't feel like it's a bad thing to necessarily have to deal with them. If you're in a small town, you know what I mean, and you have to deal with this on a day-to-day basis, what you want to do is be the queen in that situation every single solitary time. It does not matter that you hate her. It doesn't matter what she did. It's all about outside perception when you've got the whole town looking at you. So when it comes down to it, you need to be cool, calm, and collected on every single solitary circumstance. Don't let her bother you. Don't let her get to you. Do what you need to do for your kids, and go ahead and be happy with your children. And every time she's there and throwing a fit and acting a fool, then you can always show that you're the queen. You have risen above these pettinesses, and you are doing The queenly thing. You are dealing with her. Yeah, she's here, she's in town, but you are not going to let her worry you. You're not going to let her stress you out. You know what I mean? School functions, holiday program. You're like, I'm positive I am. Well, thank you, girl. It's hard not to be positive about this. You gotta make sure that you're positive about what you want to do. If you keep on feeling like it's terrible and it's never gonna work and it's not gonna work out right and he's gonna keep on cheating and everything is gonna go badly, that's kind of the way you drive it to go. When you keep on saying that things are going to turn out well, this story is going to have a happy ending. This is not a tragedy for you and your family. This is a bump in the road. This is just one of those things that happen in the fairy tales. Sometimes bad things happen in the fairy tales. That's what it is. All right, we got to deal with the bad thing that happened in our fairy tale, and we're going to move on past that. You know what I mean? So if you can be positive about that and tell your brain that that's what you want it to do, that's what your brain will do. All right. You say your self-esteem is minimal. Well, you got to get on that, girl. You got to get on that. That's why it is actually pretty helpful to go ahead and make that decision. If you go ahead and say, you know what, I am going to go ahead and work this out. Things are going to be fine between the two of us. I am not allowing anything less than that to happen. And you say that to yourself and you do that, makes you feel great about yourself. You're like, I am a superwoman. This incredibly hard situation popped up and I was still able to do exactly what I wanted with the situation, make things work out for me and my honey, and our fairy tale goes on. So you just gotta make the decision, and then certainty follows making that decision, making that action. If you go ahead and do the things that will increase your self-esteem, that will make your relationship work, if you do those things, then that's what you're going to get. You are going to consistently be getting returns on that. So I am all for it. If you love him, if you still want to be with him, you've got a family that you want to stick together, you're not doing anything wrong by doing that. Just go ahead and sit with it for a little while if you need to, and just say, okay, what I want is for this relationship to be a happy, healthy relationship with the two of us together. That's what I'm going for. And then just go for it. Don't keep on giving yourself a hard time. Don't think that your self-esteem shouldn't be high, because you're wonderful. You're a wonderful person. You're already loving and trying to be understanding and compassionate in a situation where you don't necessarily have to be. You're choosing that. And so you're a good person, all right? You're the queen in this situation. You are the main character. Act like it. That's all right? That makes sense? Oh, and the more you act like the main character, the more she's gonna hate it. Oh, it's so good. It's so good to be fully in your queenliness, and they're just mad, simmering over in the corner because they can't make you mad. Oh, it's nothing like it. It's nothing like it. I highly recommend it. All right. Oh, goodness. Let's see. Oh, I was going to tell you basics about the phases of healing. All right. The healing phases. After you started going down the healing path with the dreams formula, there's a few things that are going to happen. First of all, we are hitting that devastation phase. When you first find out and you just crumple, you are boneless, you are a pile on the floor, all your marbles have scattered out all over the floor, you can't get yourself together. Okay, that's the devastation phase. You cannot comprehend that something this terrible has happened to you. It's impossible for you to get up on your feet. You can't gather yourself enough to really move forward. All right. Most women that I meet are at the end of that devastation phase, going into the next phase when they meet me, because they're looking for a way to regulate. That's the next phase, your regulation phase. They want to go from being devastated on the floor to standing on their own 2 feet again, to collecting up their marbles and sticking them back in their pockets. All right. That is where usually you will come across me. All right. I'm very good at helping to regulate those emotions, get you to a place where you're not going to flip out every time you talk to him, and make things go a lot smoother in the relationship. And then you get closer and closer. Then we've got the recreation phase. That's once you've got yourself up off the ground, you've got some good handle on your marbles. All right, now we're going to work with him a little bit. Now we're actually including him in the process. You're going to be recreating this relationship. You're going to be talking to each other. You're going to be connecting more. We're going to get the intimacy going. We're going to be working on the things that show love and connection to one another, making this relationship a good, safe place to be again. All right. Then after that, we got the celebration phase. The celebration phase is where you do the things like renew your vows, get new rings, have the big party, go on the second honeymoon. That is when you're doing that. When you're ready to say, okay, this was a chapter in our lives, and I'm ready to flip this page and go to another chapter. That is what that celebration phase says. We are ready to party because we have made it through. We are on the other side of the fear and the pain. We are doing well together. Things are going well. All right. And then the last phase that I really most want for all of you is the inspiration phase. I want you all to be an inspiration to another woman who was in your place and didn't know whether she should stay or go, was giving herself a hard time about it, was telling herself that all of the terrible things, she's being a doormat and she's being this and that, and she's being taken advantage of. I want you to be the inspiration to tell her, this is my story. All right. I felt exactly the same way you do. I went through these things, but however, I learned what I could do to heal. And I started doing the work of healing, and we're healed now. So the relationship doesn't have to go away. You don't have to feel painted into a corner. You can continue on and have your relationship moving forward. Here is how I did it. That's what I want for you. I want you to tell your story without feeling all hurt about it anymore. Tell your story to another woman and show them the path. Show them how to get on the healing path that you have walked so well. All right. That's what we're going for. Debbie said good vibes. Exactly. That's what we're going for, is you being able to express this to somebody else. So we can stop acting like, oh, women are so terrible for wanting to be with the person that they love. There is no reason for you to feel bad about that. You don't have to feel like you're doing something wrong for that. I know a lot of women will tell you that, but a lot of those women have stayed. They just didn't know how to do it. They didn't know how to fix it. And so it got worse and worse, and they felt worse and worse. And they were like, oh, there must not be a way to do it. There's a way to heal. There's a way to heal. There's a way to get past this. I know the way. All right. I know the way. Come on and talk to me if you want to know the way. If you want more information about getting on this healing path, I am here for you. Okay. So message me everywhere. Love Coach Dasha on Facebook, Love After Cheating Facebook group. DM me on Instagram. You can reach out to me anywhere that says Love Coach Dasha. Go ahead and send me a message. We can talk about it. All right. We can chit chat about some things. I don't have any free sessions coming up. Nothing this month, and I'm not doing any free ones this month, but you all reach out to me and I will talk to you. Okay, we will have a little conversation. Even if we just get text, you can find out the information that you need to find out to be able to get to a better place. All right. All right. See, y'all got any questions, comments, thoughts, complaints, anything going on? Anything you want me to talk about? Let me refresh it one more time. Make sure I'm not missing anything. Lotto Beauty, you got anything over there for me? Y'all let me know. All right. Don't see anything else up here. So I guess that's about it. Last thing before I always go, I'm always going to tell you the basics. And we did our deep breathing, we did our journaling, we did our gratitude practice. We stopped asking all those questions. Now, Last thing that I want you to remember to do is your affirmations. Have you been doing your affirmations for yourself? I need you to be working on that, okay? Whatever you tell your brain is what your brain believes, okay? If your brain is traumatized and it keeps saying, "Oh, I am so bad and I'm a terrible wife and he never really loved me and he never really cared about me and I'm just not good enough." All right. If you keep on saying that to yourself, that's what you're going to believe about yourself. And that's what you're going to believe that he believes about you. And that may not even be true. All right. Most of the time, it's not. So we've got to start paying attention to the things that we say to ourselves, not just feeding ourselves garbage and accepting it to be true. All right. So we got to be working on our affirmations. What you do with an affirmation is you look yourself in the eye. All right. Like you mean it. Say it like it's the most meaningful thing you've ever said. Say it like you're saying it to your best friend and you want them to believe you. Say it like you really mean it, and you will have an image in your head of you saying to yourself the wonderful thing about yourself. Okay. So let's see. Let's get an affirmation. Look at that one. We were doing this earlier. Today I will breathe. Today, as I face challenges, I will call a mental timeout. I will consciously breathe with my eyes closed and focus on slowing my inhalation and exhalation. Look at that. We came full circle, all the way back to the beginning. Do your deep breathing, people. All right. Today, I will breathe. Just reminding yourself that all the time. Today, I will breathe. It will pop up in your brain that, oh, remember you said that this morning and we hadn't breathed. We hadn't really been doing that. Let's do that. It will remind you of it. All right. Today, as I face challenges, I will call a mental timeout. I will consciously breathe with my eyes closed and focus on slowing my inhalation and exhalation. Today, I will breathe. All right. I am fully for that one. That is a good affirmation for this week. Breathe. Do your breathing, okay? All right, let me see. Oh, got another question over here. Let me look. Debbie, you said how to feel intimate or attracted to him again. That is going into the A of the dreams for me, is allowing that healing to happen. First things first, when you're trying to feel intimate and trying to get attracted again, that's a mental thing, okay? It's not just a physical thing, it is more a mental thing, is getting to that place in your head. So what you're going to want to do is start off early. First thing in the morning, start thinking about, I think I'm gonna do something delicious to him this afternoon. We are gonna have some fun this evening. All right. You get that in your head. All right. And then all day long, you need to be seeing yourself as the glowing, beautiful goddess that you are. All right. All day long, all day, focusing on your softly glowing. All right. Picture it in your head. You can do gold, you can do silver, whatever color makes you really feel good. But imagine yourself glowing with this inner light, that it is the most attractive, most sensual thing about you, and it is going to attract him. He is going to want you from right now to the end of time, all right? Because you glow, because you are just a goddess on this planet, all right? You need to be thinking about that. We need to be get your shower together, whatever. Early in the day, wear clothes that make you feel good. Wear clothes that make you feel beautiful, that make you feel sexy. Like I have an entire closet full of dresses. Makes me feel wonderful, makes me feel very girly, very pretty when I wear my dresses. So I'm gonna go out, I'm gonna put my dress on, I'm gonna go out and do my day-to-day thing, feeling good in something that I really like to wear. Then, all right, we're going to go about our whole day, do our whole thing, pretending that I'm a goddess the whole time, remembering that he is going to want me so badly tonight, and I'm going to show him something. All right. So then we get to like right before, okay, things are starting to go down. Get a little time for yourself. Take a little bit of a bubble bath. some smell goods, the things that make your skin feel soft and smell really good. I do essential oils. I can't really do any other smell good stuff because I'm allergic, but I have mixed up my own signature fragrance that is, I am a goddess. That's my signature fragrance. And every time you smell that, you know that the goddess is in the room. Um, the softest, silkiest pajamas or negligee or whatever it is that you want to wear that's cute, that makes you feel attractive and good. All right. Even if you're covered up, it's still all right as long as you're feeling good about yourself. All right. That all day we've been thinking about it all day long. We have been dressing like it. We have been putting on the sense of we are going to have intimacy. He is going to be attracted to me. We are going to be attracted to each other. Now, when it comes down to it, okay, we need to definitely get some foreplay in. Always want to work on that. Lots of hugging, lots of kissing. If you are in each other's arms, wrapped up on each other's arms for about 20 seconds, it starts to release oxytocin. That is that hug drugs, that feel good, like, oh, I feel so close to you, chemical. So definitely lots of hugging, lots of physical touch. Hug and try and press your entire front of your body to the entire front of his body. All right. Whisper, get your voice softer, deeper, more breathy. All right. And then, okay, so we got the foreplay going, kicking that off. Once we've gotten started with this, I need you to stay out of your head. That's the most important thing. When you've gone through a whole bunch of trauma, what will happen is you'll be in the middle of something physical and then your brain will start working too fast. The simplest way to get your brain to shut the hell up when you're trying to get this going is to do your deep breathing. You focus on breathing in and breathing out slowly, deeply, feeling that breath come into your body so that you are feeling your body. You are in your body instead of in your head. Does that make sense? So all day long, it's all about making yourself feel really good, making yourself feel like I am ready for this. I am beautiful. I am desired. I am feminine. I am everything he could ever want. He desperately desires me and I desire him. I'm going to show him that I desire him. I'm going to put it on him tonight so good that he is not going to know what hit him. All right. It's getting that attitude about it, getting your queenliness, your goddessness on day by day, focusing on how delicious the sensations are going to be, how it feels to kiss, how it feels to touch, all of that. You got to be focused on all of that. Does that make sense to you, Debbie? Does that seem like, if you can start it off first thing in the morning and you are thinking about it and you're getting your body into it all day long, it's a lot easier when you're actually in front of each other to be like, oh yeah, I've been thinking about you. Let me show you what I've been thinking. All right. Okay, good. I'm glad that makes sense to you. It's a process, but it's got to be convincing your brain, this is really what I want. This is something that's going to make me really happy. It's going to make me feel really good. I'm excited about it. I cannot wait. And if you keep on doing that, your brain will believe you. All right. All righty, y'all. I think that's about it. Anybody got any other questions, comments, thoughts, complaints? I'm a very passionate type of girl. I am. I like lots of kissing, lots of touching. If you can go ahead and get into that, it gets those chemicals going in your brain, makes you feel pretty good about doing it, and then it kind of flows from there. All righty, y'all. That's about it. That's all I got for you today. That's all the questions that I see. Oh, that's about it for the Healing Hour Live. So I'm very glad that you joined me today. Thank you so much for that. And I'm so proud of you and I love you for doing this, for wanting to continue on with your relationship, not being afraid of doing it, going for it, putting it in your brain that this is the way you want your story to go, and then making your story go the way you want it to go. I am delighted by it. I think that you are wonderful for it. I think that you are powerful and strong and beautiful, and you should know it. All right. You should know how freaking fabulous you are for doing something like this. All right. So, in the meantime, we'll be back again next week, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for the Healing Hour Live. And until then, do your deep breathing, do your journaling, be grateful, stop asking all those questions, and do your affirmations. All right. All righty, y'all. That's it. I will talk to you again next week. Bye. Bye, Instagram. And bye over here, Facebook and YouTube.